Hey everybody, it's 25 till 7 in the evening on Thursday, March 14th. And Magnolia and I are doing another offshore overnight passage. This one from, well, we went out, we left an anchorage at Monkey Island on the Morgan River, went out St. Helena Sound, and are heading up to the upper part of South Carolina, where we, if I've timed it right, we'll reach Winya Bay Inlet, which is not far from Georgetown, South Carolina, and go in there and up the Waccamaw River a little ways, and we'll anchor behind Butler Island up there. It's a gorgeous day, but not much wind. At least it's not, what there isn't blowing from the north, which is usually the case. Very little wave action. The forecast was calling for 1 foot. I don't know that we've even got that. But I've got both sails up. They're not doing much though. I put them up and stopped the engine, and we were doing about 2.5 knots. So that's not good enough. So anyway, I've got the iron Genoa running. The idea, this is 114 nautical miles. The idea is to reach the Winya Bay Inlet at sunrise, which is 7:30, 7:35, something like that. So about 16 hours at 6 knots to get there then, and then I think it's between 2 and 3 hours up the river to Butler Island, or up the bay, up the river to Butler Island. So, I don't like coming in inlets in the dark, although it seems like I do that frequently, and I'm getting pretty good at it. The overnight passage that we did from Brunswick, Georgia to I guess that was Port Royal Sound. Went up Port Royal Sound, the river past Paris Island Marine Boot Camp, and then made our way up to well, got fuel at Safe Harbor Port Royal Landing, and that was fine. Current was really ripping though. Tide was, I guess it was coming in, and but I was doing like 8.5 knots with the current. But they've got this one bridge in Beaufort that doesn't open at all from 6:30 a.m. till 9, and then from 9 until 3 p.m. it only opens on the hour. So I was trying to catch the 9 o'clock opening and missed it by about 5 minutes. I called the bridge operator, and there wasn't anyone else waiting to go through it. He would not hold the opening or wait for me to get there or anything. He said, sorry, you'll have to catch the 10 o'clock opening. I think the bridge in Beaufort is competing with the ones on either side of Charleston, South Carolina, for being the biggest bridge Nazis on the ICW, just from my experience. Luckily, I won't have to deal with the ones at Charleston this trip, because this evening we will be going right by Charleston. So maybe I'll add a nighttime video to this like I've done with the last one, which I attempted to upload today. That run was just, well, came in day before yesterday, I guess, and spent one night at Ladies Island Marina. I used their courtesy pickup truck to get my other outboard, which is on the stern rail, and also made another Publix run, and I think I have enough wine maybe to last me till the Chesapeake. The stores in Florida only have 3-liter boxes, but the ones in South Carolina have 5-liter boxes, so I stocked up. So that was a good stop, and I cooked on the boat, but there are some nice sounding restaurants. There's one seafood restaurant like a stone's throw from the marina. Dockside is the name of that. So next trip I'll go and maybe spend a few days or a week there and really check out Beaufort and check out some of their restaurants. Anyway, as I said, it's a gorgeous day, and we're this, like I said, 114 nautical miles at 6 knots. Average should take, I think, 19 hours, I believe. And this will probably be the last offshore run of this trip, unless I get a really wild hair and decide to do something stupid like go around the shoals off of Cape Fear River, and I think that's it's either Frying Pan or Diamond Shoals. Anyway, they go way out there. I doubt if I'll do that. And I doubt if we'll have the weather window that we've had this week. I mean, it's been light winds pretty much since I left. Today's Thursday. I left Brunswick on Monday morning, and so Monday night and Tuesday morning I was doing that overnighter, and then Tuesday night at Ladies Island Marina, and then from there I went over 17-18 miles to Monkey Island, which is where I'd anchored on the way down. And didn't see any monkeys again. Did see, was welcomed by a pod of 4 or 5 dolphins that were just swimming around the boat. And, after I got it at anchor, they were just hanging out there, and they would come up and breathe, and you could hear them. And that was neat. Never saw any monkeys though. I've been told that, and you're not allowed to go ashore on that island. There's signs all over the place. So, and I don't know where this pack of monkeys originated from, how they ended up there. But anyway, they're protected. Sun will be going down in a little while. It's going to be a beautiful sunset, I think. Oh, I had some issues yesterday. My tachometer stopped working, and the engine temperature gauge had been working intermittently, and then that stopped working as well. But I tracked down the wires where they connected to the engine and cleaned the contacts, and you can see that the tachometer's on 2500 RPMs and the temperature gauge is reading just below 180. So that's all as it should be. The oil pressure has been fine. But just those two were giving me issues. Alright, we've come 20.3 nautical miles at 3.5 hours and have 94 nautical miles to go. And according to this, it's showing 7:19 at the Winya Bay entrance. This guy didn't need to come that close. All right, like I said, I'll probably once maybe get up around the Charleston channel, I'll take another nighttime video and give you a progress update and let you know where we are and how long it's taken and all that sort of thing. Okay, but that's it for now. Okay, folks, here's the nighttime portion of this video on our offshore overnight passage from St. Helena Sound to Winya Bay offshore. We're probably about 4 miles south of the Charleston channel right now, and on the radar you can see the channel markers showing up at the 4 mile mark, and on the chart that's the big brown triangle is a Maersk cargo ship that's coming in the channel right now, and based on what things look like and what the AIS indication the information to come up that he's back behind this thing. Oh, that'll work. There we go. No, that's not what we want. Maersk Atlanta. So he's moving at 16 knots, and AIS is saying that the closest point of approach is going to be 2.6 nautical miles. So he's going to be well past there and on his way into Charleston by the time we get up to the channel. But there's another guy coming out. Thomas Dam. And he's only doing 5.6 knots, and saying closest point of approach is going to be 2.3 nautical miles in an hour. So I'm thinking that I will get there before he does and get across the channel. That's what I'm hoping anyway, and that's the only ones that I've seen that I need to be concerned about. And we're on this track right here and gonna cross right there. It's almost 11 o'clock now. So we've been underway since about 3:15, so a while now. There's the Maersk Atlanta up ahead. I think you can see the lights there, and start to see some of the flashing red and green lights from the channel. But the first two times I came through here, there was a dredge working up and down the channel. The first time was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't have radar. I received AIS but was not transmitting, so yeah, didn't really know what was going on with him, but it turns out it was a dredge. And then coming back on my last trip down to the Keys, I came up from where did I come up from? Brunswick, I believe, and instead of going further, I pulled in at Charleston. This was in daylight, and there was a dredge. Well, I didn't know it was a dredge. It had come out from Charleston and then came out to the end of the channel and then did a 180 turn and started coming back down the channel, and I don't have a clue what that was. That was a bird trying to take off. He almost hit us. Anyway, I called the guy on the radio and not realizing that it was a dredge, and asked what his intentions were, and he said, "Well, I'm a working dredge," and I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna turn in towards Charleston," and so and by the time I got up to the channel, he had moved past and was in front of me. So he said, "Just come on down my port side." Anyway, usually it's a pretty busy place. There are a few ships at anchor over in the distance. You barely see the lights over there, but it's nowhere near as congested as it normally is. It's been a beautiful night. Wind's pretty much, well, we're pretty much on the beam reach. The wind had picked up a little bit and had settled down coming from one direction, and so I had put the engine in neutral just to see what the sails alone would do, and all we were doing was less than 5 knots. So that wasn't quite what we wanted. I'm slowed down some now. I'm trying to maintain around 6 knots. Close enough. You see where the Maersk Atlanta is. I'm gonna cross on this green checkered line there. That's one of my old tracks. The yellow one here is from, well, actually the green one is coming down this trip. The yellow one is going back up from our last trip. So I always save the tracks. Wonders of modern technology. Zoom this in a little bit. That guy's 978 feet long, I think, or something like that. Pretty good sized ship. And now you can make out the channel markers flashing. And the sails are drawing nicely. I had tweaked them a few times, but for the most part they're doing their own thing. And the wind has once it settled in from one direction, it's pretty much stayed there. Main is still up as well. Yeah, that's another reason to get to the Winya Bay entrance. in daylight is it's bare to get this mainsail down. It's a new sail. It's very stiff. It doesn't like to fit into the stack pack as well as the old sail did. So it just takes some effort. Okay, this guy has now crossed our path in the channel, and let's see where the other guy is. Make sure he's still the only one to worry about. No. Have to keep an eye on him. This is the autopilot control. All you can see is the little green light there, but I can feel the buttons. And the top button on each side is 1 degree. The pair on the right are turned to starboard, and the pair on the left turned to port. Again, the top one is 1 degree, the bottom one is 10 degrees. So you just push it however many times. If you need a 5-degree adjustment, then push it 5 times. It works pretty well. There are a few shortcomings on this autopilot, but it's a wheel pilot and it's rated for boats up to 40,000 pounds, and I think Raymarine's wheel pilot's only rated for like 16,000 or something, and the empty weight on this boat's over 20,000, and with all the tanks full and with all the junk I've got on it, it's probably more like 25,000 pounds, 300 feet of 38-inch anchor chain. It adds up. 3 water tanks, 2 40-gallon tanks, and 1 50. So that adds up, and 50 gallons of diesel, plus the jerry cans I have. The dinghy, the 2 outboards now. By the way, anybody in the market for a 2018 Yamaha 6-horse short shaft outboard, let me know. Has a brand new carburetor and a brand new water pumps. I didn't test it when I picked it up, but the guy at Butler Marine said that they had run it, and it started right up, pumped good, so should be fine. But I've got a muff, a thing that you plug your water hose into, and can run it on the railing to test it out. So I'll probably do that when I get back to Solomon's. Alright, well, I won't make y'all watch this whole thing. We're still 1.8 miles to that waypoint, so probably a little over 2 miles to the to the edge of the channel. One more view of the Maersk Atlanta. Man, that is a big ship. And here are the channel markers flashing in the distance there. And we're going to go to the right of this pair of green and red that are flashing, and stay to the left of this other pair. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already done it, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and hit the like button. Till next time, take care.